Welcome, welcome, welcome back to Truth Quest. My name is Aaron Moriarty. I will be your host, and we're going to go on a quest for truth together. Yes, we certainly are, because we're just downrange of strange, where the outrageous is contagious, and the paranormal is the new normal. Yes, here we are once again on a Wednesday, a fine Wednesday evening, or whenever you're watching this. I appreciate each and every one of you, whether you're watching this live or on replay. I really love it when people watch it on replay. So thank you so much. And I'm going to post this on out to my Facebook page. Feel free to share this out on all of your social media platforms so we can break through those algorithmics that are banting about out there, however you want to say it. They're stacking the deck against the truth, so we have to share and share alike. Hello, Operation Shutdown, and Catherine Weiss, welcome to the program. Yes, the outrageous is contagious. Yeah, I thought that was kind of a fun thing to say. It just came to me one day and boom. I thought that sounds okay, So I gotta keep remembering to say it. That's my biggest problem. Well, I hope everyone here is doing well tonight. I'm gonna go ahead and hit that thumbs up. I got number 3, and number 3 is my lucky number for the next week. So I have a lucky number. You know what? Maybe I should start playing my lucky numbers when I pay the hope tax, when I do my hope tax paying, because I do pay the hope tax. And what I mean by the hope tax is the lottery. So I need to start picking my own numbers, though. I think that's a better way to do it, because I think it's pretty much fixed. Hello, Mud Rabbit. Good to see you here. All right. Yes. Episode 131. Can you believe it? Here we are. You know what's weird? This whole hashtag thing. Back in my day, it was just the number symbol. So for every show I do, I put number and then the number of the show, and it highlights it as if it's a hashtag. I don't know. I don't know what to do. So I got a different hashtag for every show. I don't know. Maybe we'll get some new viewers that way. Someone who loves the number 131 might tune in and go, "Oh, finally, another 131 show." I don't know. Do you think? I do think. Well, we got some wonderful news today. If you were looking at the news, you might have seen some news today that was good. And here is one of those things that, when the people rise up, when the people just won't stop their fight against tyranny, against nonsensical lockdowns and mandates, when the people stand up and march in unity, in great numbers, night after night after night, well, then the politicians, either they have to kowtow to the public demand, or they are not going to be reelected. So here we are, and we're talking about, of course, Boris Johnson in Great Britain. And guess what? They have dropped their mask mandate and their vaccine passport bullcrap mandate. So there you go. When people make their voices heard, sometimes they get heard. Now, I was watching, quite frankly, and Frank had an interesting take on this. You see, Great Britain, as well as the United States, are sending warships to the Ukraine and weapons. So Frank, and quite frankly, was postulating that maybe they're dialing down the COVID, where they're spending all this domestic money on these ridiculous tracing programs and all this nonsense of keeping businesses closed and masks and arresting people. So they're spending a lot of money on that. So maybe they want to stop spending money on that and spend money on a war, which is they've been beating that war drum for a long time and pushing Russia to the brink. So we'll see what happens. If I hope that that war does not break out, but I think that's Joseph Brandon's goal amongst the other elites as well. And I think you can lump Boris right in there with the rest of them. He's doing this last ditch thing. If he was a real leader, he would have stood up a lot sooner than now, when their narrative is completely crumbling around them. So it doesn't take much to stand up now. It would have taken a lot more gumption to stand up earlier. But it is what it is, and it's a little bit of progress. So there you go. Hello, Artist 61. Yeah, I was watching Zoso too, Dudes too, over on Twitch, and then I just had to start my show. I would have liked to have kept watching, but I just had to start my show too. So, yeah, and Red Pill's doing a show with Brad Caladro Getz right now about Star Wars something or other. And also, Artist 61, I sent your book out today. And let me see, where's my paper? Here it is. I sent your book out today. Is that what I did? Am I thinking of the right? Yeah. Artist 61. So I sent your Popple's Place out today, and you should get it on the 24th, which is a Monday. And Peggy Dancer, same thing. You'll get your package on the 24th as well. It should be. And I'll email you those numbers after the show. So there you go. Yeah, you'll have them in your hot little hands soon. So there you have it. Yeah. And we might just be giving away some more books too a little later. We'll see how it goes. We will see how it goes. Hello, Mad Paj. Oh, you didn't get a notice for Truth Quest with Aaron Moriarty? Stupid shadow banning? Yeah. That's shadow banning. I tell you. Used to be a time. Now, I remember it was not so long ago, really. I remember hearing, and this was several years ago, that, before any of this happened here, and we still had the illusion that we were a free country. And I remember hearing a long time ago that the people in China and North Korea, that their governments were censoring what the people could see on the internet. And I was like going, wow, I can't even imagine what that would be like. And guess what? Now that we have the Chinification of America going on, where China buys all our politicians and then they do all these other things, it's the Chinification of America, and it's really sad. So we're living through what we were appalled at. And a lot of people don't even know. I mean, don't even realize it, because it happens slowly. And that's the same thing the Nazis did in Germany. Very slowly implemented these things and added one more restriction. And just look what happened with us. Oh, just 15 days. All we need is 15 days to slow the spread. And then we can go back to normal. But that never was their plan. They always just put the carrot out another 20 feet. They just kept casting the line out further. And yeah, you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. So the sooner we stand up to the lockdowns, baby. Stand up. That's what we got to do. So there you go. That's Boris Johnson. Maybe we should pitch in and buy him a comb and send him a comb, maybe with like an instructional video on how to comb your hair. I don't know how a guy gets to that age and still doesn't know how to comb his hair. I don't get it. There's plenty of product that will work in any kind of hair. I don't know. Yeah. He's like Trump without a comb, but he's not nearly what Trump is. I tell you, Trump showed us how to be a great politician without being a politician, by being a normal citizen that just steps in to do public service for a while and do really good for the people. And we're seeing a lot of people, I think, taking his example, like Ron DeSantis, and look at the next governor of Arizona, Carrie Lake. She's awesome. You get all these up and coming people and people we don't even know yet. So the influence and the inspiration that Trump imparted onto the American people is like a groundswell, a tsunami that's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. It's going to keep going because we were shown that it's possible. Yes, you have to go through a lot of crap, but you can get things done. And so I think the future is bright for the future if we can get the right people into office. And I saw something else today I thought was interesting, and that's this. Look, here's the last few presidents. Okay, as of December 20th, first year in office, here's all the presidents and all the press news conferences they did, okay? You can see Bush Jr., 14, Barack Hussein Obama, 16, Trump, 21, that's a winning hand in blackjack, and 9 for Biden. And, he's got little pictures. He calls certain people and he whispers like a creep. Man, how do they get that lump of silly putty to talk? I don't know. What do you think? How do they do it? Hello, Dark Brain. Good to see you here. And Free Range Brains here too. All right. Yes. Oh, I tell you, this guy is a total disaster. I only saw little snippets of his speech, and I just can't stand watching the guy. It's like watching a person in mental decline. It's kind of depressing. It's depressing. But Trump also said we're going to make a comeback, the likes of which no one has ever seen. We're about to make a comeback. So here we go, folks. Let's see what happens. I know for the belligerent occupation, they have to give them a year to voluntarily leave. If they haven't, they can. That's probably why they're putting the cement wall up at the White House, because they know what's coming. A cement wall is not going to stop it. It's not going to stop. It might slow it down a little teeny bit, but it's not going to stop nothing can stop what is coming, right? Isn't that what we learned? Nothing can stop what is coming. So there we go. All righty then. Here is, every joke has some truth in it. And here's some truth right here. Oh, wait a minute. Oops. I grabbed this and I thought I'd grab the headline with it. It was a Babylon Bee article. And it said, Chuck Schumer accidentally reads his pro-filibuster speech from 2 years ago or 4 years ago, whatever it was, by mistake. Yeah, I guess that meme didn't come through. I thought it was going to come through and it didn't. But I thought it was kind of funny. Here's one that came through. Here's a nice little meme for you. There you go. I'm sure you all heard the Commander and Thief the other day. That's what BCP calls him. Where they played a clip where Joe Biden claimed that George Floyd had a much bigger impact than Martin Luther King Jr. ever did. Yeah, right. Look, he's trying to switch it. No, I don't think that a drug addict dying of a drug overdose on the streets has anything on Martin Luther King Jr. that taught us really all how not to be racist. Of course, the progressive left, they want to go back to being racist again, and they want everybody to hate white people, and it's really quite sick. No matter what kind of people are being it's being done to, it's just sick, and it's evil. That's how you can tell these people are evil. They're just Satanists, or they're being controlled by Satanists. That's my opinion. So there you go. That's a pretty good meme for you. Don't you think? I certainly do think. There you go. Oh, yeah. Here's one. Now, I've shown this before a long time ago, and I just think it's still good. And you got to use these memes while they're still good. There you go. Trust the science. These lab created creatures, they deserve a chance. Trust the science. Give them a little chance. No, thank you. No, not for me. No, thank you. But there you go. That's what you're getting. No wonder the blood's clotting up with those things in there, huh? Hello, Becky. Good to see you here. Yeah. So weird. I wonder if they can feel these things inside them moving around. Yes, Dark Brain. Yes, Floyd was no civil rights icon. He was the antithesis of what a citizen should be. That's exactly right. He was also a porn actor. What a lovely career he had. Yeah. Thank you, Becky. Yeah, I think that is a good one. Yeah. Maybe the left will take these little creatures on as their new minority favorite, living thing. Oh, they're too small to feel? Okay. All right. They probably are. I don't know. I could probably feel it though, but I'm not going to give it a chance. Look at that thing. Wow. Crazy. I don't want to come back as something like that. That's for sure. No, that wouldn't be good. So there you go. Another great meme. That one's been around for a while, but a, a good meme is a good meme, no matter what time you show it. And here's another one I think is a great one, friends. What do you think about this one? I don't take health advice from people who think the world is overpopulated. Yeah, it's a nice graphic there. Yeah, interesting. Very interesting, don't you think? So I like that one. That is a very good one. Thanks, Aaron. I don't think your little fellow will make a great pet. No, he won't. Yeah, you got to get those guys out of you if they come in, those little microscopic guys. Yeah. So there's the Joker, giving a little truth there. Yeah, why would we trust people who profit from us getting sick? And there's a new word for all of the complications of the latest JAB, and they call it VAIDS, vaccine autoimmune deficiency syndrome. So it's like AIDS with a V on the front. Isn't that lovely? Which is interesting because the the chimera that was developed in a lab and then leaked out or was let out was a chimera, which is a man-made thing, and they took the common cold virus and they combined it with elements from HIV AIDS. I think with the malicious intent of propagating that horrible disease amongst the population. And it looks like they're succeeding because this VAIDS is pretty much that. Hello, Just Josh. Welcome to the show. Hey, and Tinka, hello there. Good to see you here. Yeah, there you go. Pretty good meme. Pretty good meme. Do you know what I mean? That's a good meme. Here's another good meme. We're just finding all these great memes for you, for your entertainment. Look at that. Joe and Jill enjoying the fruits of their labors. Oh, look at those rows and rows of empty shelves. Isn't it beautiful? Oh, look what we did in such a short time. Oh, they must be so proud of themselves. Oh my gosh. Yeah. What a loser. Joe Biden is a lahu zaher. That's my opinion. I think it's the opinion of the majority of the people in America and the world. Using a trolley to carrying sand. Yeah. I just got fact checked from an old meme I shared on Facebook. It showed a woman wearing a mask and a guy was like working on a chain link fence. And the woman's saying, I'm wearing this mask to stop the virus. And he's saying, I'm erecting this fence to keep the mosquitoes out. And independent fact checkers have checked this. Really? It's getting to the point of ridiculousness. It's having the opposite effect. It's the Barbara Streisand effect. It's just like when they put the labels, parental advisory, bad language. When they put that onto CDs and music, they sold like hotcakes. So it's not gonna, what they're doing isn't working. And thank goodness we have shows like X22 Report to, tune into that to get the real scoop on what's happening and a friendly reminder of how things are going. And he's always got a positive spin. So yeah, I love watching that. Yeah, Joe was on TV telling everybody about his great successes. Maybe someone bought it. Yeah. Well, they're buying the last thing on the shelf, thanks to him, probably, huh? Wow. Yeah, maybe he's just doing it for our own health. He wants us to fast. Do you think? No, I don't think. They don't understand sarcasm or humor. That's right, Mud Rabbit. They don't. They rile against any kind of humor, unless it's pointed with malice against their political opponents. Then they're all for it. But they can dish it out, but they can't take it, right? Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Good old Joe. You're doing a good job keeping those shelves empty. The making us into Venezuela. Thanks a lot, buddy. Not. Right? Not. All right. Well, friends, as you know, this is always a call-in show. So I'm going to. You just made a drinking game? Here is the meeting information. If you would like to join the conversation, there we are. The convoy station. Mean people suck. Yes, they do. They suck banana peels. His drinking game is probably take a drink every time Aaron shows a meme. Oh, guess who this is? Hello, Max.
Hello. How are you?
If I was doing any better, I'd be you. How are you doing?
Good.
That's good.
Are you live?
We're live. Yep. So welcome to the show. Yep.
So what are you discussing?
Well, we're discussing, we went over, Boris Johnson finally gave in to the will of the people and they put an end to all the mask mandates and the vaccine passport bull crap that they had going on there. So that's good.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah. And we're showing a series of memes right now. And here's one that has a picture of Kyle Rittenhouse and Anthony the Liar Fauci. And the caption is, what is the main difference between Kyle Rittenhouse and Anthony Fauci? Kyle's shots are proven effective. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I guess it's self-defense versus self-preservation, or, I don't know.
Well, I had an interesting observation.
Okay, what'd you find out? What'd you figure out?
I had a friend and I were discussing this situation, and this friend had heard something on, I think it's Mike Barra's podcast or whatever, and I've been saying to people, you need to look these documents like, the Insurrection Act of 1807 and the document with the Geneva Convention information for insurrection for the belligerent occupation. Well, apparently, either Mike Barra or one of his people had looked into more deeply the belligerent occupation and the rules.
Okay.
And apparently, one of the rules is in the belligerent occupation, they give the belligerent occupation one full year,
right,
to prove that they're not a foreign occupier,
right,
before the military can get involved.
Right.
Well, okay, of course, tomorrow is one full year.
Right.
When this belligerent occupier,
yep,
has been installed.
It would make sense.
So,
it would make sense because they put those cement walls up around the White House just recently, so that falls right in line with that. So I think you got something there.
Well, the interesting thing is, of course, all along I've been trying to guess and whatever as to what's the significance of Q30. Because it's everywhere. It's in the phrase, where we go one, we go all, Q30 is included in that. And right about last year, right about January 6th, there's a post that came out that had Q space 30, and it had some other things that had, these things I recognize. There was 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, ... and then there was 5, 1, 6, 2. And of course, I immediately recognized that as the base patterns for 8 and 5, respectively, or another way of saying it, God energy and Patriot energy, respectively.
Okay.
Because if you take 8 and you double it, you get 16. Add the digits, you get 7. Okay, 3 times 8 is 24. Add the digits, you get 6. 4 times 8 is 32. You add the digits, you get 5. So it counts down: 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 9, 8, 7, and it repeats.
Okay.
That's the pattern that 8 makes. Of course, what the pattern does 5 make? 5 times 2 is 10. So, or 1. Add the digits, you get 1. So if you got 5, 1, what's 3 times 5? It's 15. Add the digits 1 and 5, you get 6. And the next one, what's 5 times 4? It's 20, which add the digits, you get 2 plus 0 is 2. So the pattern is 5, 1, 6, 2, and you continue that pattern. Well, I was looking at the digits I was adding up the digits for the word January, and you get 90. And then 20, of course, a day, you add another 20 to 90, you get 110. And then you add 2 at a time. I took the digits of 2022, so you got 110 plus 20, which is 130. And then you add 22 is 152. And you can add the 5 and the 2 together, and you get 7. So you got 17 for Q. I said, January 20th, 2022 represents Q. So could Q30 or 30 days, Q30 mean 30 days after Q or January 20, 2022?
Could be.
If so, would there be anything interesting that occurred 30 days from now, from tomorrow?
Yeah.
And
True Social.
True Social, exactly. Which, by the way, when you add the digits for True Social, you get Q30.
Okay.
When you, I'll just point out also, if you just took January 20 and add the digits, you get Q again. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you add the digits for February 21st, 2022, let's just do that. You got 2 for the month plus 21 is 23. Sorry.
23. You said 23, I think.
23. I'm thinking here.
Okay.
And then, let's see, yeah, 22. What did I do here? 20, 23 plus 22 is 45 plus 20 from the 22 is 65, and that also represents Q30.
Okay.
Because 6, why? Because remember, Q30 is 17 plus 3, 30 or 3, right? Okay. Which is 20, or 2 plus 0 is 2, whereas 6 plus 5 is 11 or 2. So it's the same energy. So anyway, so what I'm trying to say is it looks like we've reached a situation where the military could act against this belligerent occupier.
Yeah, I think that's seeming a little overdue in a lot of people's minds, but yeah, it's something you have to do very carefully and, precision plan.
Well, you see, there's a significance of what I've been saying, that the evidence is in those documents, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just like the Insurrection Act. If you look on the Insurrection Act of 1802, I'm sure it says something about the purpose of the act, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they drafted the act, the purpose of the act, they're probably how it can be applied, and there might be timing in there as well. There might be information that says, okay, of how long the president has these powers against an insurrection.
Mm-hmm.
So I suspect all that information is useful. Just like I've been saying, the Trump executive orders from 2018 and his executive orders in general tell us what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
There's one executive order talking about, in 2018, about what happens if a foreign power interferes with our election.
Mm-hmm.
And it says that the foreign power will have all its assets seized in our country, mm-hmm. and put in the federal treasury.
Yeah.
It also says any individual, entity, corporation, or whatever that aids and abets that foreign power will also have their assets seized and put in the federal treasury.
Yeah.
and to be shared, of course, with the American people.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I can't remember everything else that was in that. I have to look it up.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's telling us what's to come.
Sure.
You know?
I think you're right. I'm hoping that you're right. That's for sure.
Well,
I thought the same thing.
I mean, obviously, people just, you know, he knows what's going to happen. He's had this plan, or else he wouldn't have put out such an executive order, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the purpose of executive order if you don't expect it to be useful for anything?
Right. Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So he's broadcasting 2 full years prior to the election that essentially that they're going to interfere with our election.
Yep.
You know? And this is what's going to happen if they do. And of course, is executive only effective if he remains in power, right?
Mm-hmm.
The president.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the Insurrection Act of 1807 is what ensures that
Mm-hmm.
that the president Donald Trump still runs the country.
Right.
So his executive orders are still in force. So anyway, that's just my thoughts. I think we might be on the edge of a turnaround. Of course, maybe that means somewhere along the line here in the next 30 days from tomorrow, we might see the emergency broadcast system come on. We might have the 10 days of darkness.
Looking forward to that. Looking forward to that. If we do have the 10 days of darkness, I just want everyone to know, I will be going back to smoke signals. So we'll be looking outside for smoke signals. That's how I will be communicating. So be on the lookout for that. Hello, Bonnie. Welcome to the show. Yeah, it is. Man, the things seem to be just lining up just perfectly. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. So
pretty amazing.
Just hold on a little bit longer, and of course, the what are we told? What are people saying about the 10 days of darkness? Well, that it's going to be basically communication blackout, right?
Mm-hmm.
But not entirely. I think what televisions will still work, but the emergency broadcast system will tell us what's going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the internet will be down, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what would we expect to happen? Well, I would expect something to happen similar to, Trump would be telling us what's transpiring, where you can go to find more information,
Mm-hmm.
To remain calm,
Yeah, yeah.
And then either refer to right after it's happened, go to Truth Social,
mm-hmm.
where they've compiled all the information, or some other site that he's yet to reveal,
mm-hmm.
Where I would expect all this information that the Patriots have collected, the contents of the different laptops,
mm-hmm.
Contents of the 80,000 emails, all kinds of things would be there for all to see.
Mm-hmm.
All to see a lot of the evidence. And I would imagine the military would run that site so that they'd make it so it could handle absolutely massive volume.
Mm-hmm.
So they could not have a denial of service attack.
Right.
And they would be probably, it was probably the most secure site in human history.
Could be. It would have to be.
Anyway, those are just all speculations, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But it does indeed look like things are lining up that we might be out of this thing for long.
That would be nice. I mean, we've sure got a taste of what the progressive, so-called progressive left wants for America, and it certainly does not look very appealing. You know, Red Pill did a news show about, and he called it "Welcome to California," and he did a little story on how it's just ridiculous there. They've decriminalized lawlessness, and people are just walking into stores and walking out. They're robbing trains, and there's boxes strewn all over as far as your eye can see.
Yeah.
They break into these box cars on the train, and they steal everything.
What do you want to bet when Trump comes back to be able to turn that around, all these things around in 3 to 6 months? I'll bet that he can put an end to that so fast.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
I bet you'll see things, you know, overnight, almost overnight, things will be changing positively.
Mm-hmm.
You know, of course, immediately probably restore the Keystone XL pipeline.
Of course.
And of course, people will probably be coming back to work because they'll get rid of the ridiculous mandates.
Yeah.
He'll probably have a solution immediately to the trucking situation. Maybe even the National Guard will be empowered to transport. He'll probably do obvious things like divert some of the cargo containers from off the coast of California to arrive at other ports like
Mm-hmm.
in Florida or Texas,
Yeah.
which I don't know if that's occurring, but it seems like obvious that should be happening right now.
Yeah, it is. There are ports in Florida and other places that some of these freighters are going around and coming that way because there's no way of getting through at the woke, because they won't allow non-jabbed truck drivers, and they have to be large companies. They can't be independent operators. So they're
Right.
squeezing out all the small guys, all the independent operators. They have to have.
Which makes no sense in a pandemic that you should restrict the shipment of the supplies you need.
Yeah. Oh,
makes no sense.
Yeah, there never was a pandemic. There was never any.
Makes sense if you want to destroy the country, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
Hello, Valak 21. Welcome to the show. And Austin Morris, welcome to the show.
You got a good crowd tonight?
Yeah, it looks like we got a pretty good crowd. Yeah. Got lots of neat.
You always have a good crowd.
Lots of awesome people in the chat.
Yeah.
I
Patriot.
I go back and I watch the show later just to see the chats, and I just love all the stuff people are saying in the chat. So thank you everyone for being in the chat and being awesome. Yeah, that's a picture on here right now. It's made from a single picture of Jupiter that I duplicate and mirror and halftone, and you get these amazing, symmetrical, beautiful pictures. And it's just looks like a painting. It's beautiful. Yeah.
I got a bad joke. It's probably a groaner. Tell me if I've already said this on the channel.
Okay, you've already said it.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Did I? Have I already said this?
Just kidding.
What do you call a deer with no eyes?
I don't know. What do you call a deer with no eyes?
No idea.
I've never heard that one. I've never.
That's not all. Okay.
Oh no.
What do you call a deer with no eyes and no legs?
I don't know. What do you call a deer with no eyes and no legs?
Still no idea.
Oh my goodness. I should have gotten that one.
What do you call a deer with no eyes, no legs, and no testicles?
Oh my gosh. I hate to even ask, but what do you call?
Still no effing idea.
Oh boy. All right.
Oh, it's bad. It's like,
yeah. I like the
It's
first
not
one.
good.
The first one was good. You had me on that one. I like that. No
Yeah,
idea. No idea. That's pretty
yeah,
good. That's pretty good.
it's pretty dumb, but anyway, this is a groaner. I don't know if it's a dad joke or not, but certainly a bad joke.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that distinction, dad joke. I think it's a cool moniker for these kind of jokes. You know,
Yeah,
I don't know. I guess there are moms that tell jokes. I know my mom tells jokes, so
yeah,
but I think dads are more prolific in it. We study joke
yeah.
books more than a lot of women do, I think.
Oh yeah, and a lot of dads they deliberately give the like one-liner groaner jokes. You know,
Yeah,
like oh, you know,
yeah, yeah. I had a joke
yeah.
and I forgot it. That's just not like me. That's odd. That is very odd. Yeah. So that's Jupiter. What a beautiful picture that is. And let's see. I'm gonna like zoom in on it and check out some of this pattern. These patterns, just beautiful. So there you go. Look at that. Wow.
So assumingly this all transpires soon, what do you think is going to happen around the world when this great evil is destroyed?
Jubilation.
I think it
Um,
would be
I think
you see a rapid.
the hills will be alive with the sound of music, I think.
Yeah, I think you see worldwide jubilation break out.
Oh yeah.
Just one by one around the world, there'll also be arrests
Yeah.
and all these things and it'll be and people will realize this. The liberation is coordinated, right? It literally will be like that scene in Independence Day where the whole world comes together around the Americans.
Yeah.
And puts down the evil occupiers.
I just thought of the name for the jubilation.
So,
Remember Woodstock? What about Worldstock? Boom! There you go. There'd be a celebration, huh? Worldstock.
I think there'd be celebration on a grand scale.
Oh yeah.
And of course, I think if we were to see it, there's probably a gazillion extraterrestrial brothers and sisters watching us from space.
Yeah.
On that day, and then they will be jubilant.
Yeah.
Because they know we're just about to graduate.
And the only macabre thing we'll see are the very guilty people getting their just desserts as they swing in the wind.
Yeah.
From their very tightly fitting necktie.
Yeah. Well, what do you think? Do you think they'll actually people that the crime for treason is death by either firing squad or by hanging?
Right.
And one of Trump's executive orders actually restored that.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. Yep. The death penalty came back under Trump. Yes, it certainly did.
For treason.
So I think
why would he do that unless he knew of something to come, right?
And not only that, but it's a good leverage to use to get people to do things in the meantime to help catch more people.
To come forward and and tell what you know so you can avoid, hanging.
Yeah.
So I think there'll be we all know that what the evil has done and the deep state has done is, in many cases, taking people and they know something about their past and they blackmail them.
Yeah.
And it may not, it may not be, in some cases, all that bad, what they did. Certainly not worth killing them for.
No.
But yet they, they did not want the embarrassment of people to learn what they'd done, right? So, and that's how evil gets people, otherwise good people, to comply.
Yeah.
Or at least people that have made mistakes but not worthy of treason,
Right. Yep.
So, and this thing that we've been told from the beginning of this movement, that we need to be understanding and we need to be able to forgive some of these people,
Well,
there's a lot of them, right?
Well, yeah, forgiving is a good thing, but some of these people have done such horrifying things that, I think that even the aliens will be glad to see these people swinging in the wind.
Well, I'm not saying that all of them would get off.
Right.
But I'm just saying some, because, let the punishment fit the crime, right?
Right. If they were blackmailed and, evil entities were forcing them to do things against their will, maybe there should be some leniency there. Some.
Right.
Some.
Yeah.
But not,
right.
It doesn't really excuse
They don't
anything.
get off scot-free. They just don't necessarily hang from the gallows. Or if they have come forward and provided information and evidence to, the people of not only the United States, but of the world, to implicate other people in the deep state, then obviously some kind of recompense is desirable, right?
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so I think it's going to be very interesting to see what actually transpires.
Yes.
And of course, that's what I say and others say is going to happen, in this whole thing, that there are people out there that have been, panicked and said, oh, none of this is real, the deep state's won. And I said, well, that's certainly inconsistent with the Patriots and God being in control. So I think those people need to restore their faith.
Yes, they do.
So
the one I have up right now is the original picture that I made that other picture from. And I increased the color on it to bring some more color into it. So that's a close-up picture, a fairly close-up picture of Jupiter from a probe that NASA spent over $1 billion on. So there you go. That's that. But that's the picture that other picture came from. It's just gorgeous. All those colors. And keep in mind also, if Corey Goode's testimony is true, which I believe it is, he claims that the secret space program discovered, like in the 80s, that there's plasma life forms living in the upper atmosphere, upper clouds of Jupiter, feeding off the radiation. They multiply, they show preservation of life, because they caught one and they took it in the ship and it died. They tried to grab another one, but it moved away to not get caught. And they eat the radiation. So Corey said, we're going to have to, rethink what we think life is, because these things are clearly alive, but they have none of the features of any life that we know of. And Corey also said, or was it Corey or someone else, said that those type of beings, those plasma beings, also live inside the sun. So that's interesting. plasma life forms. It's an amazing planet, amazing galaxy we live in, or solar system, whatever you call these things. So there you go. Hello, Peggy Dancer. Peggy Dancer, your package will get to you on the 24th, it says, and I'll email you the tracking number afterwards. Okay? So Monday, the 24th, you should get it. So be on the lookout for that. All right. So I got those packages out today. That was good. It was good to get them out.
Maybe you need one with the awesome possum and about the occupation.
Well, yeah, well.
A book about the occupation and the liberation of freedom, all about freedom.
Maybe. I got two books I'm working on right now. I'm probably have to get those done first. And
oh yeah, of course.
And Peggy Dancer in her email said she wanted both of the Papa books and both of the Awesome Possum books. So when the Awesome Possum books get ready, I probably am going to do them on a platform where you can order them, either a digital copy or a hard copy where it's print on demand. So I'll be looking at those different types of ways of doing that. So, okay. Oh, Peggy Dancer, she's still working on her email glitch. Okay. Yeah. Well, we haven't given anything away yet, so don't worry about it yet. I'm not sure if we're going to do that today. But that's that picture of Jupiter. I thought you'd like to see the original picture that other image came from. So that's Juniper, Jupiter. I call it Juniper sometimes.
Is there a song that goes along with our movement?
I think there's a lot of songs that go.
America the Beautiful, of course.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, Peggy Dancer. Thank you so much for that super chat, for that very generous super chat. Thank you so much. Wow. That is awesome. Well,
yes, people, please support Aaron. I'm not here for any kind of a compensation, but I'd like everybody to help my friend here.
Thank you. Oh. Yeah. And it goes for good causes, like, sending these books out that I give away, and maybe someday I can get my muffler fixed. Right now it sounds like I'm driving a Harley, but it's my car. But so there you go.
Well, they can hear you coming.
Yeah, I don't like driving it too much. It's pretty loud.
Uh-huh.
And not only is it loud, but it fills the passenger compartment with exhaust. So,
ooh, that's not good.
So then I have to roll the windows down, but it's frozen up here and the windows won't roll down. So I got to hang the door open when I'm driving to get the air out. It's just, so it's pretty ridiculous.
Not good.
Pretty darn ridiculous. Yeah. You gotta do what you gotta do, though,
Yeah, if you had got stuck in the snow and you're trying to stay warm, you didn't stick to you yourself.
Oh yeah, I would not do that. I would get out and walk for sure. Yeah.
It sounds like you ought to stay home.
I can't though.
It sounds like where you're at.
I can't.
A bit of snow, don't they?
I can't stay home. I need to go and do things. I don't go out that often, but to get groceries and whatnot.
Where you're at, you probably don't get lake effect snow, do you?
Oh yes, we're on a peninsula. There's water all around us. Oh, Mud Rabbit says donations for spaceship maintenance, and she has my PayPal there. Thank you very much, Mud Rabbit. Thank you so much. Yeah, PayPal is a great way to do it too, a great way to support the channel. And of course, the super chats are great too. So thank you so much, Piggy Dancer. That was awesome. Very awesome. Let's see here. What else do we have to show you? Oh, here's another image I made just today from another image of Jupiter. I made this. So there you go. There's some more solar system beauty for us to look at. And let's see if we can brighten that up a bit. There you go. That's about all the color we can get out of that one. But it almost looks like a face, like an eye here, a nose, and a mouth right here. It almost has a angelic, like a male angelic person there. Very, very interesting. So let's look at that one for a while and see what people see. Chuck Norris, Gun Club, hello. Glad to see you here. Welcome to the program. Let's get crazy, he says. All right. Chuck Norris.
That's a guy you don't want to mess with.
Yeah. Remember all those, oh my goodness, Gloria Paddock, thank you so much. Here's to not having to drive with the door open. Thank you. Oh, and a little heart and a little kiss. Oh, thank you so much. Wow. All right, I gotta put a little note in the chat here for those wonderful super chats. Thank you so much. Yeah. So, well, you know what I have to do now? What I get to do now, I get to give away another book. How's that sound?
Wow.
Because we got a couple of super chats.
Cool.
And yeah, and now I can look at getting my muffler fixed too. I crawled under there. I couldn't get my car up very high. I did crawl under there, and I got it together with some hose clamps, but it's not perfect. I couldn't really reach it very good. So I just don't have the equipment to get that done. So, and it's so cold out here. You know, it's very chilly, the winter time. So we got the book here, friends. And that's Popple, okay? Endorsed by Jeff Foxworthy. Illustrated by myself and written by Judith C. Johnson from Green Bay. And it's about a little boy. He's a lonely little boy. He has no friends. And he sits on a rock all day. And he wants to go in the woods to see if he can make some friends. But his aunt told him, you know, scary creatures live there. But he goes anyway, and he finds all these fanciful characters in the woods who are very friendly. But when he asks them if they want to be friends with him, they always say no. And then towards the end, he's just so sad. He's crying, and the wise old owl sees him crying and decides, you know what? He's not a people. He's a popple. We could be friends with this boy. So it's a great non-prejudice story. So the way we do it is email, I guess, or yeah, I guess we got to do it email. So the second person to email me at hot games and puzzles. Wait. Hot Games and Puzzles LLC at gmail.com. That's it. And the second one will get this book That's Hot Games and Puzzles. That's one word. LLC at gmail.com. And you can get this fine book endorsed by the famous Jeff Foxworthy. He's the redneck comedian. And I told the story before, but he very graciously lent his name, his good name, to the project because it helps the children's hospitals. And that's why Judy wrote the books and published them. And I was honored to illustrate them. So those are all my illustrations in there. So there you go. Now let me go check my email to see. Oh, I got 555 emails. I can't read them all. 555, that's a good number, huh? And nobody yet. Let me refresh this. Oh, look at that. We got one email. The first email is from, and let's see. Oh, D-Dald. He got the first one. And the second one is Special K. Special K wins it. Special K, the big winner. Now, Special K, now, did you win before? Did you already get the Popple book? Maybe you want Popple's Place. I don't know. Let me know in the chat. So Special K wins the Popple book or Popple's Place. I'll write that down. Special K wins Popple book. All right. Well, that was good. That was quick. Thank you very much for emailing. And there we go. We got it. You were supposed to be first.
One more thing that.
Oh, Special K says I was supposed to be first. Well, you were second. Someone beat you. What were you going to say?
This is kind of strange. It's one of those things that a voice in my head says, I need to do this. So I take it seriously as if it's some kind of coded message to somebody other than, here's what I'm supposed to say. If anybody out there knows an engineer by the name of Anne Marie, and that person's full maiden name, the value of the digits adds to 149, that they need to contact me via Aaron, his email, and the code word that they'll recognize is Shadow Blast.
Okay.
So I don't know entirely why I'm supposed to do this, but a voice in my head says I've got to do this.
Okay.
Could it be a message to somebody that I'm not aware of other than the obvious recipient?
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Wow.
So the code word is Shadow Blast. If you know an engineer, female engineer named Anne Marie, tell her to contact Aaron. If the code word Shadow Blast means something to them.
All right. Shadow Blast. All right. And Special K had a question. Who was that last week? It was Peggy Dancer, and she has a package going to her because I decided that since she had email problems that she should have won too. So I sent her a package out today. Should get there on the 24th on Monday. So Peggy Dancer is getting something in the mail. Oh, Special K says you can send it to Peggy Dancer. Well, she's already getting a package, and it's going to be a surprise when it gets there. So I don't want to say too much right now. Hello, Willie Fix-It. Yeah. All right. So there you go. Well, Special K, you're just going to have an extra book if you already have one. And there you go. There you go. That's what that is. All right. And Andy Social's in the house. Hello, Andy. Yeah, we got some awesome people here today. Very cool. Very cool. Yes. Yeah. So the world stock, not Woodstock, world stock. That's the global jubilation after the deep state, cabal, Illuminati, whatever you want to call them, the bad guys, when they get all rounded up and taken care of.
Yeah, of course, once we're going to see that, I think we're going to see what we all wanted to see. We'll actually get real disclosure after that has happened. It might take a little bit of time, but not a long time after that.
Okay.
And I think we'll also see, the deep state's been not allowing some of these secret technologies that have been patented to come out. I think those things will start to come out, and we'll start to learn the reality of that we are out in space already.
Oh yeah.
And that basically our government owes us, because our tax money has been paying for all this all along.
I just figured out a lot of us are out in space and a lot of us are spaced out. There you go. That covers just about everybody. And Special K said, I got Popple the time I won, Aaron. So I'll send you Popple's Place. That's the second book. Okay, Special K? I made a note of that here. Popple's Place. That's the second book in the series. That's where Popple, when his aunt goes away to go shopping or whatever, Popple has no place to go. So the critters build him his own place in the woods, Popple's Place. So he has a place to go when his aunt leaves. So there you go. And
does Awesome Possum come to visit him?
No, Awesome Possum does not make any appearances in this series here. But I did think of the Awesome Possum story right after I did these books. So there is sort of a connection.
It kind of has, I don't know, it's just right off the bat, it kind of sounds a little bit like Winnie the Pooh and his buddy. I can't remember the name of the boy.
Christopher Robin. Yeah, it is kind of like that. It is kind of like that. Here they are. They're all talking. There's the old fat rat. So there they are. And Jeff Foxworthy had agreed to play the Ollie the Owl if it ever went to be a movie like with Disney, because Disney was looking at it. Yeah. So yeah, it's a little boy. He's a human boy, but he goes in the woods and he makes friends with a squirrel, a fox, an owl, and a mole, Miller the Mole. So Fancy the Fox, Miller the Mole, Ollie the Owl, and Sammy the Squirrel. And Sammy's she's a girl, but she's like a tomboy. So there you go.
You ought to have one book where how when you can flip the pages, you can put things on the edge of the page.
Yeah.
Have like a little mini motion picture.
Yeah.
You ought to do that to one of the books.
Yeah.
Some kind of animation of the Awesome Possum or something.
Yeah, that'd be neat. Just
John. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, yes, I know.
I've done. And you're looking at it.
I've done those before. Yeah, I've done. Those are fun. Yeah, that is cool. I love
kids. Love that.
Oh yeah,
because they've never seen it before. When you show them the first time, it's like, whoa. I can show. There's an interesting trick that this is something to entertain young children.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to get keep them entertained. Well, you get a piece of paper, a notebook, 8.5 by 11 piece of notebook paper, and you get a number 2 pencil. And you put the number 2 pencil in the middle underneath it, and you put your thumb on top of it. And you say, kids, you want to see the magic bean? And I say, yeah. And so you say, well, I'm going to throw one magic bean in the air, and then I'm going to catch it on my paper here. So you throw it in the air, and then what they don't see, you're pushing hard on that pencil, and when you do, it makes a clicking sound.
Oh.
As if the bean has hit the paper. And then you say, okay, I'm going to throw 2 of them this time.
Mm-hmm.
And you throw 2 magic beans in the air, and you move your hand and like you're catching one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And then you say, okay, now I'm going to throw a whole handful in the air. And you're moving your hand frantically all over the place, and you're pushing the pencil.
Mm-hmm.
And it's making all this noise, and the kids are like, what's going on, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then they look under what you're doing, and they can't figure it out.
Right. That is a good one. I do one kind of like that. It's where you take a paper bag, like a paper lunch bag, and you put your first finger and your middle finger into the bag and your thumb on the outside of it, and you take an invisible ball out and you throw the invisible ball up and you pretend to catch it, and you snap your fingers with the bag between your fingers, and it makes a sound just like something landing in the bag. So similar to the clicking.
Oh, wow.
But that'll really. And when I was teaching daycare, that they thought I was magic because I did like 3 tricks. That was one of them. And so one kid came up to me in the playground. He had a rock. He goes, "Hey, Big Aaron, can you turn this rock into a grasshopper?" I said, I can't do that trick. Sorry. I can't do everything. But they thought it was pretty magical. So that was pretty cool. Yeah.
Well, you have to if you got a piece of paper and a pencil, you have to show people what I'm talking about.
I'm trying to picture exactly what you're talking about, and
okay, you got the pencil underneath the paper, and and you're holding the pencil in your hand, and your thumb's on top of it, and the paper's in between your thumb and and when you push down hard on the paper between your thumb and the pencil, it's grabbing onto the pencil and then moving little jerks and make a popping sound like a bean hitting it.
I don't know. I can't. I think it's this thing you have to show. I can't picture it, and I'm usually pretty good at stuff like this. I got a pencil and I got a paper, and I don't know. You got to do it with one hand.
Yeah, one hand. Okay, we'll stick the pencil in your hand, and then
like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Put the paper on top of the pencil. Where the pencil's kind of in the middle of the paper.
Yeah, I just did it. Yeah, I think I just figured it out. Yeah.
That'll keep kids entertained like you wouldn't believe.
Oh yeah, the bag thing does it too. Yeah. I had another trick.
And they're like, "How did you do that? How did you do that?" They're like scratching their heads and like. And there are people, the kids that figure it out eventually.
Of course, yeah.
And they think it's the greatest thing when they do figure it out, right?
Mm-hmm. They say the greatest thing since sliced bread. Do you know why they had to do sliced bread?
Uh-huh.
Do you know why they did it?
I think you're going to tell me.
Yeah. So what happened was they were trying to make bread last longer on the shelf so they could sell more. So they came up with this new kind of bread. It was like Wonder Bread. And they said, wow, this lasts a long time on the shelf, but wait a minute. When you go to cut it, it just squishes. We can't have this. What are we going to do? I know. Let's pre-slice it. And we'll sell that as a feature. Hey, great idea. So that's how they did it. So greatest thing since sliced bread? Well, they only did the slicing because the bread wasn't like normal bread. It was different, hard to cut. So that's That's how sliced bread came about.
Is that real?
Yeah, that's true. As far as I know, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, as far as I know, that's true. Yeah.
you learn something new every day.
Yeah, you certainly do. Learn several things a day if you're paying attention, right?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see
And you
here.
might learn 3 things a day if you come on Aaron's show.
You might. Yeah, you might see some cool memes too. You never know.
Uh-huh.
Here is just a little update on some of the things I'm finding on the that thing I keep finding on the ISS, and that's this. This is one of the pictures I took in the last week or so. But this one looks like there's something happening in the middle. Maybe they're putting the solar panels on it. But I believe that this is a space station that the Chinese are building, and they're going to build it over a mile long. It's going to be huge. So you see these things around it. I think they're building on it. They're making it in space. So that's quite an undertaking, and they're doing it.
Oh,
So I think that might be what that is. Just might be. But yeah. And friends, if you are wondering how to get copper in your diet, I was wondering this myself, and I went on the intranet. I looked it up. I love looking stuff up on the intranet. Everything's on there practically. So copper is a very important thing to have. You can't have too. You can have too much of it, but
as a trace mineral, yeah.
yeah. So here's some foods that you find them in: cashews, shiitake mushrooms, beef liver, yuck, oysters. And the thing about oysters too is you might find a pearl, right? There you go. That's why I always get clam chowder. Just I'm looking for the pearl. There you go.
I know frosted mini wheats has it in it.
Do they? Sesame seeds, cocoa powder, cashew nuts, sunflower seeds, grape leaves. I don't know how. Do people eat grape leaves?
Yeah.
Squid. I don't. Squid does not look like a very appetizing thing to eat to me, personally.
Oh, if it's prepared properly, it's fantastic. But if it's not prepared properly, it's vile.
Yeah, I just don't like the way it looks. Plus I don't eat living things anymore, unless they're plants, I guess. But also Brazil nuts. Now Brazil nuts have selenium, which is important for some of these protocols, and it also has zinc and copper. So you can do a lot of health benefits just by eating a couple Brazil nuts every day. Hemp seeds, walnuts, lobster,
I'll tell you something.
pumpkin seeds.
A secret about zinc, and my own discovery on this, that of selenium releases bound zinc.
Oh.
For whatever reason, when we take in zinc in our foods, it stays in our bloodstream for a short time, and then it gets put into storage.
Okay.
And I see no adequate explanation for why that is. Okay. And I've been asking the question, well, if it's put in the storage, could you have a situation where you got too much in storage and it's having some adverse effect on the body?
Could be.
And the early research is centered around, I think when you have too much stored zinc, you get this situation where glucose becomes bonded to the to your hemoglobin, and that's what they test with A1C when they give you A1C test.
Mm-hmm.
And but selenium releases bound zinc back into your bloodstream, and zinc is good because it suppresses viral growth.
Okay. Yeah.
But it also encourages the growth of fungi in your body, so your body regulates it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for someone who's interested in this, you can find this online. The copper to zinc ratio in your blood is an indicator if you have lymphatic cancer. Lymphatic cancer is a particularly bad cancer because it spreads throughout all the organs via the lymph system.
Yeah, that's what my first girlfriend died from.
And here's something that people need to know: viruses like to spread via the lymph system. Okay,
Okay.
but if you look, the copper to zinc ratio is what is important, because at high zinc relative to copper, lymphatic cancer is in full-on regression. It's under control when the cancer is not spreading. But when copper is high relative to zinc, you get full-on spread mode. So this is why Aaron added the caveat that you can get too much copper.
Mm-hmm.
You need copper, but if you get too much of it and you have lymphatic cancer, it'll cause it to spread rapidly.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's going on here is that when you take in one metal, your body lets go of another.
Mm.
Like when you take in zinc, your body lets go of copper, and then you excrete it. When you take in things like magnesium, or your body lets go of calcium and potassium and zinc.
Mm-hmm. I gotta say, hi, Carrie Swearingen. Hello there. Welcome to the program. Good to see you here. Go ahead.
No. The point is that people think, oh, I got to take more of this, one thing or not, and
right.
another. And of course, there's a negative consequence. You're taking too much potassium, right? Here's how people get too much potassium. If people drink sports drinks all the time, which are enriched with potassium, the reason they're enriched with potassium, if you're an athlete working out and you're sweating a lot, you lose a lot of potassium via your sweat.
Mm-hmm.
So sport drinks typically add a lot more potassium.
Okay.
The problem is if you're not working out and you're constantly drinking these sport drinks, then you actually are depleting yourself of magnesium and calcium and zinc.
Okay.
Every day, because you're drinking the sports drinks.
I've never drank a sports drink. I've never had one of those things. I have no desire to, but I know a lot of people do.
Yeah.
But
the common way is vitamin waters. You got to be careful.
I don't drink those either.
Some of these vitamin waters, you think you're doing yourself a service, and sometimes you can be doing yourself a great disservice.
Right.
Because you're making yourself depleted of these things.
Yeah.
And one of the secret ways that soft drinks hurt you, especially Coca-Cola, and is they have a little bit of acid in there, phosphoric acid. Well, the phosphoric acid actually makes it taste better, but your body has to compensate for the acidic blood that you get, because you now have an acid in your blood.
Mm-hmm. I hate when that happens.
And how does it neutralize it? Well, it neutralizes it with calcium and magnesium from your bone. So it pulls calcium and magnesium from your bone to neutralize the acid.
Right.
And over time, that makes your bones brittle, of course.
Yeah.
And you need, of course, calcium. Calcium's needed for all muscles to contract,
mm-hmm.
and magnesium's needed for all muscles to relax.
Right. Okay.
And most of us 80% of Americans are deficient in magnesium, so our muscles are in a heightened state of contractions. And now how I can tell that, if you're sitting in a chair and you can squeeze your thigh, if easy to squeeze your thigh, then the muscles are relaxed and you've got a reasonable amount of magnesium, because your body stores magnesium also and calcium in the muscles in addition to the bone.
Okay.
And when you don't have enough in your bloodstream, it's basically if the heart needs it, because the heart has to pump all the time, right?
Right.
It's kind of desirable to have your heart pumping all the time.
Yeah.
And it'll take, if you're severely deficient, it'll take calcium and magnesium from your muscles. Your muscles will get harder and harder, which some people misinterpret. Oh, my muscles are firming up. This is great. No, your muscles are in a heightened state of contraction because they don't have enough magnesium to relax. And that's truly the case of hypertension. Literally, your muscles are super tense. And I've actually been there, folks, so I know what hypertension actually feels like. You can't sleep. Your muscles, like everything is tensed up. You can't relax.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that will help dramatically is to start bumping up your magnesium. Okay. Either with diet, by eating more salads, things like that. But there are some consequences. You don't want to eat too many salads. People don't realize it thickens your blood.
Okay.
If you eat just salads, you can thicken your blood. Now, if you eat other foods, you can thin it again, like dark chocolate thins the blood. Mandarin oranges thins the blood. There are a number of things, natural foods, that thin the blood, and they work quite effectively. Dark chocolates, in my experience, is at least as effective as aspirin in thinning the blood.
Okay.
Now, if you're prone to nosebleeds or anything like that, you don't want to be eating dark chocolate all the time.
Yeah.
Or in large quantities, because you're going to make it worse.
And I always give everyone I know who's going to the doctor, and I tell the doctor this too, when they're doing blood work, when they take blood, I always tell them, I always ask them for the blood back when they're done. I know you're not going to use all of it. I'd like it back when you're done, because I wasn't quite done with it yet. There you go. Always get your blood back. Now, here is the book I'm working on right now, friends. I got the cover. It's not completely done yet. That's kind of what it's going to look like for the the Awesome Possum book. And I think I went over this. This is the last page that I had done, where the Awesome Possum is doing his chores, right? And the words for that one are, he is always very helpful. He knows just what to say. He always does his chores before he goes out to play. So
now the two titles of there's the Awesome Possum and the Awesome Possum Goes to School. Is that it?
Yeah, that's right. So far, those are the two I have written. I have other ones that I've started to write, and there's going to be a whole bunch of them, a whole slew of them, hopefully.
Like Awesome Possum Goes to Camp or something.
Yeah, although, who I really like the books of, and when I was teaching daycare, these books were great, with the Mercer Mayer Little Monster books. They had a book for every occasion. I mean, they had so if you're teaching daycare and you're looking for a book, it's Halloween. Oh, the Mercer Mayer books, they have a Halloween. Oh, they have a book about going to grandma's house. They have a book about, so that's where I want to get to the point where Awesome Possum has a lot of books that can.
Right. For different occasions.
Yeah. But always with really good messages and something to learn and something to be excited about. Kids are so excited about things.
Right.
And
and get them excited about things that are good for them, like eating their vegetables.
Yeah. That's why I like Popeye. Popeye made spinach in vogue, I wanted to eat spinach. When I tasted it, I was like, spinach in
Yeah.
a can is just, it doesn't last very long. You got to eat it fresh spinach. So,
Didn't what's his name? I can't remember his name. He was so fantastic in that movie as Popeye.
oh yeah, Robin Williams. He was perfect for that role.
Right. Wasn't he the absolute perfect
Yeah.
Popeye?
He was
God.
Popeye. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so sad what happened to him. It makes me wonder if he learned about one of the sinister things that occurs in Hollywood.
Yeah, I think it was a scarf. Wasn't it a scarf hung on a scarf on a red scarf
In his bedroom or something, yeah.
on the doorknob? Yeah.
We never. I don't know if it was ever told exactly why he left a note as to why he did it, but it was so sad. I mean, I cried
Yeah.
when I learned about that. He's such a comedic genius. Yeah, it was a sad day. You wonder what he learned or whatever that was tortured his life.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he was a big star, so they say you can't get to be a big star unless you do certain things, and I don't know.
Right.
You just don't know.
Or see certain things, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm looking for a picture of him as Popeye. He was great as Popeye.
Oh yeah, that was just fantastic.
Yeah, great movie. Oh, and guess what? The town they built, the crazy little town they built with those really interesting looking cartoon buildings. They built that like in Norway or the Netherlands or something like that. And when they were done with production, they said, you know what? We're just going to leave it. And it's still there. You can go there and see this town that they built. Pretty spectacular.
Oh, wow.
I think it's still there.
Unless a big wind came around and blew it down or something.
No, I think they were actually pretty solid buildings, but they were just built comically, With
didn't Hollywood? Didn't they make a lot of sets that are kind of like pop-up sets they could put out anywhere, like little frontier towns that they could erect in a day?
I think so.
And it look real from the front,
Mm-hmm.
But there's no substance to them.
Right. In fact, you know what? Errol in the book, the Alien Interview. I just forgot what I was going to say because I'm trying to get this picture of Popeye up, and we're all done talking about him already. So I got to get that. My mind is in too many different places right now. Okay, now it's up. Now I can share it. Oh boy, I tell you, it ain't easy being cheesy. There he is. I look at those forearms. Of course, that's a prosthetic arm. But the thing that bothered me about the movie was the girl got all of the press for her portrayal of Olive Oyl.
Yeah.
But I was not impressed by her portrayal of Olive Oyl. I was much more impressed with Robin Williams being Popeye, and nobody ever said anything about that. They always poured all of the attention on her, and yeah, she looked kind of like her, but I don't know.
Yeah, but he was truly the star of the show. It was like.
And he was over the top. Yeah,
it was perfect for the the role.
Now, the one role he was not perfect for was Peter Pan. I thought Well, at least it was a
Yeah.
guy. He was the first guy to play Peter Pan, but still, I don't know. They could have done a little better than that. But yeah, he was in a lot of good movies, I gotta say. Patch Adams was a good one. But yeah, he was a good actor. Jumanji, that was a great one.
Who's that guy that is living in a van down by the river?
Hello, Jacob Waters. Wimpy?
No, it's
Bluto?
somebody knows in the audience, the guy that a bigger guy, and he's always talking about living in a van down by the river. But he's a little bit overweight, and he's played in a skit somewhere. He played Peter Pan, and he comes flying over or something, and he's,
Chris Farley?
yeah, that's him.
Okay.
I like John Candy movies too. I used to love that.
John Candy's great. Yeah, he was a great actor. So sad that he's not with us anymore. So many people. It's
This one where he plays the babysitter is pretty good.
okay.
Uncle Buck.
Yeah, Uncle Buck. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
He's one of the actors I miss, John Candy.
Yeah. Yep. And I want to show this again because I'm still very proud of this finding in the ISS footage. Right about here is this giant space station thing. Right out here in the darkness. So I have still not seen it again. I've only seen it in this one area. They don't show this angle anymore. And I believe it's right behind the space station, the International Space Station, the ISS. So it's very, very curious. It's like a big space station with a spaceship on top of it, docked to it. That's what it looks like. I don't know. It's something. Curious that it's just sitting in the darkness back here. But yeah. I think I got to put this on a t-shirt maybe. I tried calling Space Force. I tried calling NASA. Nobody would. Couldn't talk to anybody.
Speaking of Space Force, have you heard anything about Space Force news?
No, but 1 Foot and 5D was in the chat last time.
Uh-huh.
So, but I had not heard. Have you? They haven't had a show since. I haven't seen any.
No, they haven't had a show in like 6 weeks. I figure they probably got a job and they're working someplace.
That could be. Yeah.
You know, but.
Or maybe.
A lot of the Space Force news fans too, so we'd like to find out what's going on.
That would be nice. But Alara she's a movie star now, so maybe she's doing movies. Who knows, right?
Who knows, yeah.
So that was pretty cool. She was in that movie about TR-3Bs.
Yeah.
Oh, and Carrie says, that's a very strange thing, Aaron. You caught some amazing stuff. Thank you, Carrie. Yeah. In fact, you can see it. I didn't put the circle in exactly the right spot because I put it there from memory, but it's actually right here. And you'll see it. I'll do some adjustment to this and you'll see it pop out when I increase the brightness. And then there it is. You see it right here? So that's the maximum I can get out of it. And then I saved it and then reopened it and then got this. Got this. This is what popped out. So pretty clear, pretty big. It's a very large structure. And it's just very strange, and it's very curious. So there it is. Yeah. Oh, Alara has a job. This is Kanga Anand. Alara has a job and is working 6 days a week. Her and Foyle also just moved. Busy ladies. Oh, wow. Well, I hope they can get their show back up again, because that was a cool.
It was a fun show.
It was a cool show. They had a nice chemistry
Yeah.
between them. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like the Odd Couple.
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very,
Yeah.
very entertaining. Very entertaining. And
Yeah.
they covered a lot of good stuff too. I like their
Right.
in between things, like the little pictures and little animations between segments. So that was a very cool show.
It's a good show. Yeah, it's just fun.
Yeah.
And entertaining. Yeah.
Very entertaining. Very entertaining.
Did you hear about the horrible thing of the hamsters someplace getting COVID?
Oh boy. No, I didn't hear about the hamsters getting COVID.
No, it's not a joke.
Oh, it isn't?
No, thousands of hamsters someplace got COVID, and the place was demanding that all the hamsters be returned, and they were going to put them to death because they had COVID. And of course, people said, "No, we're not going to return our hamsters so you can kill them."
Well, for one thing,
that's our friend.
For one thing, the tests have been proven and admitted to not work. So how could they tell if a person or a hamster had anything like that? You couldn't tell, right?
But you imagine the trauma. The kid's got a hamster at home, and he told to bring it back, and they're going to test him. If he fails the test, they're going to kill the hamster. Come on.
Yeah.
There was a massive pushback.
It's terrible.
Against that.
Of course.
It was in the news today.
Wow. Now, years ago, I was working at this daycare. It was in a school, Alice Smith Elementary School in Hopkins, Minnesota. And I was working in the latchkey there. And we had 2 Florida king snakes. And I think when we only had 1 Florida king snake. Lena Lovitch was her name. And she went off the feed. You usually feed them dead rats that you warm up and wave in front of their face and they eat it. But she didn't eat for so long. She shrunk. So I had to go to the pet store and get pinkies for her. Pinkies are little babies that haven't opened their eyes yet. And it was very cold, and I had them in this little container, and I was protecting it, thinking, oh my gosh, I got to protect these things. They're so vulnerable. I'm thinking, what am I doing? I'm saving them so I can feed them to another animal. It was disgusting. I was really horrified by the thought of what I was doing. But yeah, so yeah, I can see the hamster dilemma there for sure.
It's strange how we get attached to animals. Of all times, in college, I had the whole class had to give a heart injection to a white rat.
Oh my God.
And they told us it was just to measure, I think, calcitonin, some enzyme. And after they told us they were going to sacrifice the rats. And I led the movement say, no, that's cruel. We're not going to sacrifice.
Yeah.
And I said, well, what are you going to do? Take it home with you? He says, yeah, can we take our rats home?
Yeah.
And half the class took it home. Well, I was living in the dorm at this time, and so got this white rat. and of course, I got a box, and we have these lofts, where we're sleeping, and the rat would be perfectly fine. I put paper on the top. That's how I keep them calm at night. And in the middle of the night, as soon as you get up in the loft, you're ready to go to sleep. And it's no easy thing to get up into the loft, right?
Right.
As soon as you get to the top, he'd grab the paper from the top and he'd rip it. And he'd keep ripping it. And he did that the whole night.
Of course, he's making his bedding.
Yeah, but it was like not conducive to sleep. Right?
Yeah. Right.
And it always said he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't start until you. It's like he heard you climb up to the loft, and he'd do this.
Yeah. Wow.
If you watch it from a distance, it's comedic, you know. Well, anyway, I didn't have a name for this guy. We kept him actually for about 3 or 4 months, and I had a friend come over named Mark, and he came over and he said, "Does he bite?" You know, he wanted to pet him. I says, "No, he doesn't bite." Mm-hmm. His famous last words, because Mark sticks his hand in there to pet him, and it chomps down on his finger. He says, "Ow, you hoser!"
Hoser.
And so he got the name Hoser Bob at that instant.
That's funny. Oh, that's
and then, well, anyway, Hoser Bob lived in the dorm with us for 3 or 4 months, and then another friend. We realized that eventually we're going to get discovered by the staff resident and be in trouble.
Yeah.
So we had a friend of ours that lived off campus, and they had a house, and they offered to take Hoser Bob, adopt Hoser Bob, and they did. And they trained Hoser Bob. He used a litter box. And Hoser Bob got so trained, they put him in the sink, and they literally, Hoser Bob would stand still while they give him a bath. They give him a bath once a week. And I went over to a party at their house, and Hoser Bob had the run of the house, and he didn't make messes anywhere. And one day Hoser Bob disappeared. He got fed with the best ingredients because the one guy worked at Taco Bell, mm-hmm. and brought back lettuce and cheese or whatever.
Sure.
Apparently, when lettuce gets beyond a certain date or whatever, they no longer can sell it or use it, mm-hmm. even though it's still good. Mm-hmm. And so, anyway, Hoser Bob disappears. So they called everybody, and we all came over, and we're just searching the whole house for him. And nobody could find him. So they concluded that he had to be inside the furnace. So these guys tore the furnace apart in order to get Hoser Bob. Hoser Bob was inside. Hoser Bob was normally a white rat. Now he's got a dingy black.
Mm-hmm. Dingy black.
Clean him up.
Wow.
And he survived, lived a long life as a celebrity. So if I was going to write a story, it'd be about Hoser Bob.
Interesting. You know,
but that we got so attached to that.
Sure.
That rat that they would tear the furnace apart to save him. You know.
Well, someone in your class must have taken notes, and maybe they had something to do with that movie, that Spielberg movie, or E.T., where that boy, what's his name, let go all the frogs before they euthanized them. Remember?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
That was a great scene where you're starting to
or jump, or I can't remember what he's saying.
Yeah, you let them all free. That was great.
Run! Yeah.
You know what was disappointing about the movie Free Willy? Remember the killer whale?
Yeah.
The really sad thing about it is they never did free that whale. I think it died in captivity.
Yeah.
I thought they were actually going to really do that, but they didn't. It was just a movie. It's like, wow.
I was a big Flipper fan when I was growing up.
Yeah, that was my little brother. He had a Flipper ride-on, like a little thing you could rock back and forth on. He took that thing down the stairs in the basement, and he went head over tea kettle, and it wasn't a pretty sight. He got hurt.
And because people don't know what the heck we're talking about. Flipper was a television show back when was that 60s?
A dolphin, yeah.
Yeah, a dolphin.
It was a show about a dolphin. It was kind of like Lassie, but with a dolphin instead of a dog.
Right. Yeah.
It was a cute show.
Yeah. It's back when shows had some redeeming value.
Mm-hmm. Carrie's saying, Aaron, I know you eat animal crackers by the bucketful. You know, I was eating animal crackers by the bucketful, really, but I kind of got my fill of them, and I can't eat them anymore. So I got to find something else.
Cracker Jack?
Oh yeah, Cracker Jacks, yeah.
That's a candy corn, popcorn,
sure.
Peanuts, and a fries.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what they get in Cracker Jack.
Gloria Paddock remembers Flipper. She's got a heart there to prove it. There you go. Yeah, Flipper was great. Remember Gentle Ben? That was a good one too.
Yeah.
With Ron Howard's brother, Clint Howard. Be in.
Yeah.
Be in.
There was Ben the Rat, remember? That Michael Jackson had.
Yeah, I was not into that. Yeah, it was kind of weird. But yeah, I mean, I bet you did because you had a rat.
Yeah.
I had a couple of rats for pets, and it turns out they were both female, and they were fighting each other all the time. They were biting each other's tails, and it was horrible.
We had guinea pigs and cockatiels.
Oh, cockatiels.
I could make all the sounds a guinea pig does.
Another talent that Max has that nobody realized. Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah, they were fun to watch. The cockatiels, their house, when they'd have a baby, it's kind of cruel. They'd get this baby outside on the little ledge, and then they'd push him off the edge so he'd fly. Wow. And of course, the first time he didn't fly so well. He just went plop down to the bottom. Mm-hmm. So, and his parents were up there saying, "Come on, you can do it." Basically, give him encouragement. Finally, the thing would be able to fly. Mm-hmm. It's fun to watch. I had to break up a fight between two male guinea pigs. Boy, that's not something you want to do. You better wear a glove. Because literally I had a male guinea pig hanging off of my finger because he buried his front tooth in my finger. Oh, man. and he wasn't letting go. I mean, I was moving my hands and flinging it, and he was held on.
Did you ever get him off, or was he still on there?
Grab his mouth around the edges and kind of pull his jaw open.
Oh, so man.
He let go of my finger.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And two male guinea pigs. You don't want to get between them without a glove.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, Mr. Ed was good, too. Yeah, Mr. Ed. Did you know that Mr. Ed never went to the bathroom on the set? He was very smart. He never went to the bathroom on the set, and he could talk. There you go.
Yeah.
You do that pretty good. All right. So I got the Invisimask up there, so everyone can see that. And of course, you can get this very same artwork on a t-shirt in my merch shop. And then you can walk in maskless anywhere, just point to your shirt and say, "Ha ha ha, I have the Invisimask on." The state-of-the-art Invisimask, far superior to your daisy print N95 mask that doesn't do anything. Yeah, perfectly covered. You are covered. I'm so glad this whole narrative is dying down. I really never thought it would last this long, but that's how desperate they are. They must be, they're losing so badly. Yeah, the bad guys are losing.
Well, like I said, the trap was January 6th.
Yeah. And when it's all said and done, when the bad guys are all done and finished, they're going to take a look at what happened, and it's all going to come back to the almighty memes that made the big difference. That's my prediction. The memes did it. The memes saved the world.
Yeah, because they can't be stopped.
Oh, the guy.
They use computer programs easily to spot memes, so it's perfect way of getting it past the censorship.
Oh, Austin Morris says, I think the guy who played Wilbur was in the original Time Machine movie. Was that the Time Tunnel? I know the Time Tunnel was only out one year. I loved that show. Oh, Johnny Quest too.
It's still on now. What is it on that? It's one of those free channels for digital subscribers, or if you don't have cable, you can get it.
Yeah.
Well, I can't remember the name of the station, but
I don't know.
Yeah, they have a lot of those old shows like what is that guy with the detective that finds all these supernatural things? Maybe Austin knows what that is. There was a time tunnel. There was Land of the Giants.
Oh yeah, those were great. I love that.
Cool things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
If you look at that, I saw them when they first came out. If you look at them now, I didn't realize how much disclosure was in there. Things that seemed like science fiction at the time, but that we know now were science fiction. That they actually had those things then.
Yeah.
Like Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea had drones in 1966.
Right.
Those drones have only been in for people to be able to buy in only recent years. It gives you an idea how long the military's had them. You know?
I want to make a shout out to Mike, the fireman, who called before the show today. And
how's he doing?
He's doing good. He lives near Omaha, and they're going back to the mask thing, but he said he went there to get something and only had to wear a mask briefly in one of the places. So people aren't falling for it like they were. And he also made the comment the other day that he feels he is a blessed sinner. So he thinks that's a moniker that he is a blessed sinner. So there you go. I wanted to make sure I mentioned that because he's an avid listener. Hello, Celestial Soul.
Even in California, they're not abiding by the mandates.
Yeah.
You know, they're fighting back.
Yeah.
They're not wearing the things in public, you know?
Right.
So there's mass rebellion against these things all over the country. So it's fantastic to see or not see, as case may be.
Here's that image on the shirt, so they can tell you got the Invisimask on. There you go. All right, I'm at Gloss Coffee Shop in Sturgeon Bay. What was I going to look for? Yeah. There we are.
Yeah, that Time Tunnel movie, there's elements in there if you're watching it carefully, which of course when I was younger I didn't understand, right? It's a cool show, but you're watching it now, it's like, oh my God, they're talking about the chronovisor, and they're talking about this.
Right.
And you recognize these things as, you know, from what Andrew was talking about, you know?
Right.
It's pretty interesting to see some of these old shows with the benefit of having new knowledge that you didn't have when you first saw them.
Right. Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. You realize, oh, they had this and this and this technology back then.
Yeah, they did.
Well, I mean, that's just a simple in the Batman show, there's things that they have there that are like, I ran across something the other day. I can't tell you exactly what it was. I saw an episode of Batman, and it's like, oh wow, they had that knowledge back then.
Mm-hmm.
So
Batman.
he had something. He had a communicator, a bat communicator, which is basically a cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh wow,
Well, Adam West is on the camera now. He's on the screen with the big pow punch. The only real Batman, Adam West. Yes.
Yeah.
The original. The one who actually put humor into the part. So you got to love it. The humor was the best.
I love the Bat Cave,
Oh, yeah.
Young kid, like, it was so cool, and the Bat computer and
oh, yeah.
The atomic pile.
Yeah. Yeah.
So fascinated with all that, and the turban on the back of the Batmobile.
Yeah, and I was wanted the Bat computer because you could solve all the crimes. But now we all have a Bat computer, so we could all solve these crimes and make memes and save the world. So that's what we're doing. Space 1999, yeah, that was an interesting show. A lot of models for that one. Yeah, the old shows were the best. And I don't even watch TV now. I haven't had television since before the turn of the century.
Oh, the old shows had so much more value to them than some of the things that's out there today. Are just trash.
Yeah, and even this old Batman show, kids learned how to be good citizens because they're always talking about that, and they stress that all the time. And so I grew up wanting to be a good citizen because that's what Batman said. It's a wonderful thing. You just
he was always teaching Robin a new lesson.
Yeah. Now all they do is they take these iconic characters and make them into woke jokes.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to watch it. Nobody watches it, and it's just it's sick. So yeah. When we get rid of all these sickos, I think it'll be a different world.
Yeah, it will be.
Yes, Mad Podge. The guest villains were always awesome. Burgess Meredith, Frank Gorshin, Julie Newmar. They were all great. The Joker. Yeah, they were all awesome. Awesome for sure. There you go. We found out who he really is. He's the Penguin, folks. Don't let him fool you. He's not Maxwell Smart. He's the Penguin.
I can't do the Riddler. Well, he just laughed continuously.
Yeah. I thought for the new batch of movies, when they were looking at doing the Riddler, before they got Jim Carrey, I thought the perfect Riddler, and I've said this before on the show, would have been Prince, and he could sing the riddles. I think that would have been really cool. But I wasn't in charge of casting, so that didn't happen.
Right. I saw they're bringing back a new Batman. I can't remember who played it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be the one guy again. Kind of the middle Batman. I can't remember who played him.
Keaton?
Hello?
Michael Keaton?
Yeah. I think Michael Keaton's coming back.
Really?
There's a new Batman coming out.
I don't think he's. Who made a great Batman was Val Kilmer. I thought he made a really good Batman.
Yeah.
You know who I think would be a great Batman? And the what was that artist, that comic book? I can't remember his name, Frank something. He did an old crusty Batman. Like, what was the name of that artist? I can't remember, but it was a very dramatic style, very different from anything Batman. He was kind of big and old and crusty, and he didn't care about the law anymore. He was just out for revenge because 2 of his Robins have been killed by these bad guys, and he was just out to get these bad guys with gusto. And I thought the perfect person to play that would be Clint Eastwood, an old Batman. Wouldn't that be cool? That would be awesome.
Go ahead, punk. Make my day.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great? Yeah.
I was always a fan. I wanted to see crossovers, you know?
Uh-huh.
Especially when I was a kid, right? You want to have, you know, Batman meets, you know, Superman meets, you know, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're always thinking, wouldn't it be cool if they did this or whatever?
Yeah. I'm trying to find this guy here. It was back in the 90s. Where was it? Oh, here it is. Here it is. Frank Miller, I think is his name. Yeah, okay. So let me, I'm just going to take this off of here and bring it over here. Uh-oh, it's not going to do it. I got to take a screenshot. But yeah, it's a crusty Batman, and he's old, and he's Frank Miller. Yeah, Frank Miller. Yeah, here's a couple of Frank Miller ones to show you. But I thought his rendition of Batman as an older, crusty Batman looking for revenge, great idea. Great
I
idea.
hear sounds of someone taking a picture. Are you?
That was me making a screenshot so I can get this up on the screen.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if my phone was taking pictures.
No. Oh, and I can't do it yet. I got to open them now. It's a 2-step program here. All right, desktop. It's going to take a little while. So yeah, let's see. We'll get these couple pictures up here. All my files. I got so much stuff on here. And I want to thank everybody too for coming into the chat and also for the super chats. Fantastic. Thank you so much, everybody. Just incredible. Okay, here is, I got it now. We can see one of them now. This is the Frank Miller Batman. Look at him, he's all beat up. His outfit's all ripped up. And he's just kind of grisly, you know. I like it.
One of these days, soon, we're going to get you a better system so that you can do more with your channel.
Yeah, I'd like to do videos, but you know, that day will come. Here's another Frank Miller Batman. It's a better rendering. It gives you an idea of his style. Look at that. I think that's cool. Yeah, there he is. Batman. I just think Clint Eastwood would be great in that. You know, I actually have a movie in mind for Clint Eastwood that I've had for years in my head. I've written something about it, but a movie called The Last Spaghetti Western, where he plays this actor, like a washed up actor. He's not a washed up actor, but in the movie he would be. Like, he wasn't famous like he is not to us now, but he used to do these those spaghetti westerns. They'd film them in Italy because it's cheaper. And he needed to make one more movie to pay back all of his debt because he was borrowing money from the mob. And he goes over there on his own dime to try to get the whole gang back together to make the last spaghetti western. And he finds out a bunch of the people he used to work with there are now working in the mob. So he has to get them out of the mob to get them into the. So it'd be a very, very cool thing. But he does come back all beat to heck with the canister of film in the can, and it becomes a big hit, and he's a big star again. So I probably should contact him before it gets too late to talk to him about something. He's still actively doing movies. He's still making new movies. So I think he'd be great for that. He would be great for that. Well, folks, it's 12:24. It's coming up on 12:30. I think maybe we should put a cap on this one. Let me check back in the chat here. Yeah.
Any Andrew report? How's Andrew doing?
Andrew's doing good. I just heard from him. He's doing really well. We're going to start the show back up again with he and I several months from now. So it's not going to be soon. It's sometime in the future. I still don't have a date, so we'll see.
Right. Didn't he just get through going to the hospital or something?
Yeah, he was in the hospital earlier, yes, but he's out now. He's doing
COVID
very
or
well.
Something?
Yeah, he's doing very well now, though. Yeah,
that's good.
He and his fiance both. But yeah, he's a very nice guy, very cool guy, and yeah, he's in kind of a tough place because he did all this stuff for the government and never got paid, and so
right.
he's always struggling for money, and I feel very bad for him. I wish I could win the lottery so I could help him out, but yeah, I was glad to be able to raise money for him to get that seeing device to help him see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a school night. Okay. Yeah. Good point, Gloria Paddock. Yeah, it's a school night. So I think we're going to wrap it up. Well, thank you very much, Max, for calling in. Really appreciated it.
You're welcome.
Great
Thanks
stories.
To all the Patriots.
Great stories and great insight as usual. And thank you to everyone in the chat. Thank
you to all the people that support the channel as well. Thank you so much.
Yes. And thank you to everyone in the chat, and Mud Rabbit and Dark Brain. Special K that won the Popples place, and our two super chatters. Thank you so very, very much. We love you all. And you're in the truth quest when you're just downrange of strange, where the outrageous is contagious and the paranormal is the new normal. So keep your phone and your camera ready so you can take a picture of that UFO and come on to the Truth Quest and talk about it. But until then, like Friday night, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we'll see you Friday night, same bat time, same bat channel. Peace in.